over to Deputy Malcolm Byrne.
I suppose the team, and I've heard many other deputies remark on this at the outset of their own contribution, is that we're talking about a topic that for many people will be a difficult one, having lost loved ones through road traffic accidents or incidents. And I suppose I'd say that particularly conscious, as Minister O'Brien outlined at the start of the debate, that the number of fatalities in recent years have seen an increase, despite, I suppose, a lot of good work having been ongoing prior to that, which saw a significant reduction since the late 1980s through the introduction of the road safety strategies. I want to commend the comments made by Minister O'Brien earlier in the debate, where he highlighted in particular the danger and the increased threat caused by those driving under the influence of drugs and by driving while using excessive speed. And I note the concern of some of the members just before me, but I have to say, the communities, I feel, are welcoming of the reduction in speed limit, and that these are measures that will go on to save lives and lead to safer travelling environments for all road users. I welcome also many of the measures and proposed investments outlined at the outset of the debate by both Minister O'Brien and Mr Connolly as we enter phase 2 of the government's road safety strategy. Concurrently, I'd like to focus my own commentary on one particular initiative introduced by the last government that the road safety strategy said would be to the forefront of our efforts in road safety. The Safe Routes to School programme aims to ensure that children can safely get to and from school while also making a difference to congestion on our streets, the health of our children, as well as helping to achieve our emissions reductions targets. The programme aims to create suitable infrastructure to make walking, cycling and scooting a practical and safe choice for families. I expect that the scheme continues to serve that aim, and I welcome that in the programme for government it commits to expanding the Safe Routes to School initiative. When the programme was launched, some 932 schools applied for participation. That's nearly a quarter of all schools nationally. But over the 3 strands of the programme, we've seen that some 414 schools have been earmarked for participation. Now, I recognise that that's nearly 50% of all those who applied, but I do feel for those schools who applied and have not been included in the programme as of yet. And I would think that it would be important that we look at particularly those schools that are national and regional routes, and we would try and prioritise those for implementation in the scheme. We are advised that schools who applied will eventually participate, but I think we will all be familiar with schools on national or regional routes that are not yet involved in the scheme. And I'm thinking particularly, as like many other members, schools in my own community, schools on the N59 between Galway and Clifton, where it's a very busy road, including one that I taught in myself for a number of years. And also there's a particular campaign ongoing in Barna. The school there is on the R336, and there are a number of schools on the R336, which is the main route from Galway City to South Connemara, a very busy route. And those schools and the children attending those schools deserve to make sure that they can do so while walking or cycling safely. I placed a Dáil question recently to get some sense of how many schools that had entered the programme had seen infrastructure advancements or enhancements to meet the objective of the scheme. Unfortunately, the NTA have not been in a position to provide me with that detail yet, which is disappointing. And I am concerned that the programme is not having the impact that was desired at its initiation. And I speak with some insight. The school I worked in myself, which was included in the first phase of the scheme in 2021, as of yet has not had any work done under the scheme, despite the fact that the funding has been approved. So I think we do need to review that. I do get a sense that some local authorities are implementing the scheme better and quicker than others. And I think if we have the information, we should look at how they're able to do it and other local authorities are not. And it may be down to staffing, but I think it's a scheme that could generate, or could increase, obviously, the well-being and safety of children as they attend school. I think we should prioritise its implementation. So it's clearly meeting challenges, and reluctantly also in some locations where works were proposed, they met resistance, which is disappointing. But Connolly, I would like to think that we would enhance the scheme, give it a broader perspective, include maybe pedestrian crossings as well, rather than just front of school treatment.
Thank you, Deputy. Deputy Malcolm Byrne.